Hey guys, Bobby Ballinger here, and today we'll be discussing some interesting news from the world of survivors. Now, you can probably tell what it is just from this title. Let's see where it all started, but first, a little disclaimer. I have not read Dead of Night yet. My two chances for getting it are on my birthday and Christmas, and since my birthday is March 30th, timing has not been kind to me. So there might be something in there that settles this already. I would not know. I'm working off the first book in the series. So where did this all start? Well, it all started when someone asked, controversial question, will there be ever be gay/lesbian relationships in the series? It's actually quite common in the animal world, but never appears in any of Aaron Hunter's books. I find it ironic that blood, gore, religion, and violence are included in the storyline, yet homosexuality is viewed as an adult topic, especially when there is LGBT youth. Now, this is a very easy thing to just brush off and ignore. However, Gillian Phillip decided to answer with, that is a really good question, Tevin. I guess the guy asking was named Tevin. I think it's just one that has never come up in the plots. But I will certainly bring it up in editorial. I think it would be great to have a gay couple in the world of the packs, Smile and Modicon. Now obviously the most important words in that answer are Smile and Modicon. Just kidding, guys. Gillian Phillips says, I think it would be great to have them in the series, and he's going to bring it up. This is something that they just never brought up. It's not that they didn't want it, so now that it's being brought up, it may actually happen. Which is very, very interesting, and shows we probably will be getting a gay/lesbian survivor dog. Now I have to tell you who I think the gay/lesbian dog will be. First things first, I don't want it to be Storm. I think the lesbian one being Storm being a lesbian would turn it into a being lesbian is part of the plot thing, which I think is a bad idea. Well, not bad idea, just not as good as they could have done it, kind of thing. That said, I have to treat Storm as a possibility for it because, well, she is a protagonist, and so she's an obvious choice for it. Also, she showed no interest in the guy, Whisper, kinda puts her in that category already, so they've set her up for it, kind of, without meaning to, but I still don't like it. And as the protagonist, and as you can clearly see in the first book, she's obviously meant to find love eventually. However, I don't think she's gonna have pups. Because why is it in that order? Oh well, because she's just so far out of the loop. First of all, she says, packs need pups, don't they? And I suppose some dogs in a pack must be good at all the fuss and bother of raising them. So she's kind of out of the loop for what pups actually are. And then there's another issue, and that's that this camera is not zoomed out far enough. It was just barely, too. Just barely. Okay, quick fix, close enough. And then she says this thing that really puts her out of the way of having pups. Like, after this sentence, they cannot give her pups, make her have pups, and do it right. I know there is first pups, but hunting's got to be a lot more fun than fatherhood. After a statement like that, no, you do not give that kind of character pups. Therefore, if she finds love, but doesn't find pups, but doesn't have pups, An easy way to do that would be, be making her a lesbian. But again, I don't want them to do that. I don't. And she is gonna have a mate. She's not a virgin. She won't have an aversion to the idea the whole time. In fact, if anything, it's the opposite. Yeah. Moving along. My next my favorite option for a gay dog is Chase. Now, why is Chase the best option? Well, for one, they've set her up quite interestingly. See, they can't seem to decide on Chase's gender. So they're actually in a position where they can change, while they did screw up, they can change it now to suit said gay plot. And there actually is a very, very good way to do this without actually putting the gay relationship in the series and making it take up a big chunk of time. It involves something that happened in the Storm of Dogs. Now, for those of you who watched it, it becomes fairly obvious that Chase and Splash probably had something going on with how Chase reacts to Splash's death. I mean, Sweet even kind of notices it. I'm very sorry about Splash, and then she turns to Chase from Twitch's pack. And she knows. Now, at the time, we all kind of thought, Chase is female. It says female, but in a pack divided, it's not quite so certain anymore. So they're actually in a position where they can change Chase to a male permanently, and then all they have to do for their gay relationship, have him talk about missing Splash, and then move along with the plot. Now, sometimes that's kind of cheap, just throwing he was gay moment. But it's actually a really good thing for Chase to have that moment because, well, he/she doesn't really have a personality as of yet. So this can help give us a reason to care about Chase for once. It'd be a really, really nice thing for them to throw in, and it's my personal favorite way to handle this gay/lesbian dog thing. I honestly think it's the best way for them to go about it. Now, next up, and the last one I think it could be, is Breeze. Now, Breeze, if you've watched my other videos, you know that I suspect her to be very important, and the new cover for Into the Shadows actually really, really helps to prove that. Obviously, you see, this right here is Breeze. Despite what your book says, she is apparently no longer a small brown female and has graduated to average brown female. Now, obviously, she's in the front of the cover. She's gonna be important. However, this cover draws a few parallels to Darkness Falls with Martha. That's extremely telling of things, because, well, first of all, let's see how these covers are so similar. First of all, you have two dogs with a pup in front of them in the third book of the series. Coincidence? I wouldn't think so, also. This Lucky right here and this pup right here look very similar and are on the same side as the dog with the pup in front of them. Also, this Lucky right here, he actually has two dogs right behind him in the background. Two dogs behind the puppy in the background. Now from there, no more similarities. But you gotta admit, that is pretty creepy that it's the third book of the series and and the covers are just so similar. I mean, it proves Breeze is important. So obviously, if she's important, and I think she could be the lesbian character, how do I think that ties in to things? Well, it ties in because it's the best way to make Storm a lesbian. Okay, guys, that heart right here, that's supposed to be pink. I have no clue why it's showing up as white. But it is the best way to make Storm a lesbian, in my opinion. Purely because it might not actually go fully through. You see, in my videos, I suspect that Breeze is important because Breeze is suspicious. If it turns out that she is responsible for any of these things, and they've already fallen in love, that's going to create some serious conflict for poor Storm here. And that's actually going to make a really interesting read. And still, I don't want Storm to be a lesbian. It's not the best way to do things. I'd much rather they just say, screw it, we're changing Chase's gender to male, and going with that. But in all honesty, I'll probably like it no matter what they do. Yeah, it's hard for them to really screw up bad. So in the end, it doesn't really matter too much who it is, as long as they've done it right. But in the end, I want it to be Chase, and not Storm. I'll be back with more videos eventually, some point in time, I think. G'day.